Okay, guys, I'm going to finish up with part two. Hopefully, we'll be able to get it done without getting too disturbed. Okay, so at the top, we were looking at making your mixed number into a. Hang on, I'm trying to do two things at once. Making your mixed number into a. I'm sorry, your decimal into a mixed number. That I can't think. Okay. And so what you want to do is you would do 4 and 65 hundredths, and then you would simplify. Okay? Let me turn this way. And then, let me do this. Let me see this. Okay, here, it looks like this a little bit better for you guys. I'm sorry, it's a little shaky. And so then we're going to look at expressing fractions and decimals as mixed numbers right here. And it says for fractions and denominators that are factors of 10, 100, and 1,000, you can generate equivalent fractions with those denominators. So right here, you've got 9/12. They want you to write it as a decimal. I love, love, love what they're doing here. So 12 doesn't divide equally into 100, right? But what they did is they took the 9/12 and they multiplied it by, or I'm sorry, they simplified it. They divided it by 3, and they got 3/4. And then we know that to go from 4 to 100, we could multiply by 25. And so 3 times 25 would give us 75. And 75 hundredths is super easy to write as a decimal. See? Then, of course, that's method one. Method two is probably the one you're most familiar with, and that's the one where you just simply divide the denominator into the numerator. You usually have to put a decimal and annex zeros to be able to finish and divide until there's no remainder. So here we have 3/5. I'm going to do this with the one, I know that 5 divides equally into 100. So I know that 5 times 20 is 100. So 3 times 20 would be 60. And that would be 60 hundredths. Okay. Right here we have 25. Oh, I love it. 25 times 4 gives me 100. So 14 times 4 would give me my answer. And so 14 times 4 would be 56. And that would be 56 hundredths. You can put this over here. Okay. Here we've got 102 250ths. Wow. Off the top of my head, I know those are both divisible by 2, right? Because they're both even numbers. So if we did that, 2, that would be 51. And 2 here, 2 into 250 would be 1, 5, which would be 2, which would be 4. And then that would be 0, which would be 10, which would be 5. Okay, 125. Okay, and then, does make a smaller fraction. So then I'm going to just divide. Okay, so I'm going to divide 125 into 51. Now, oh, sorry, I didn't realize you couldn't see that on the paper. Okay, so, oh, that's, y'all, this has been a crazy day. There's not enough room on there, so I'm gonna get some, you could get notebook paper, just paper, whatever you need to be able to write this. So I'm gonna do this. And I'm going to add 51 125ths, right? So I'm going to divide 125 into 51. I'll do 0.0. Okay. Well, I know it's not going to go into 5. It's not going to go into 51, but it's going to go into 510. So I'm thinking 1, 2, 3, 4. What about 125 times 4? Let's try that. That 8, 9, 10. And that would be 4. That would be 500. Okay, that would work. So that 4 goes there. This would be 500. We would subtract and get 10. Annex is 0. Oh, won't go, will it? Annex another 0 into 1,000. And that would be 8 times. And that would be 1,000 and no remainder. Okay. So that means that for G, your answer would be 408 tenths, hundredths, thousandths. Okay. All right. That was a little bit more complicated, wasn't it? Now on the back side. On the back side at the top, you've got a caterpillar can move as many as 4,000 muscles compared to humans, who have about 600. So humans have about 600 muscles. Express the length of the caterpillar as a decimal. Okay. Okay, this is weird. This is talking about muscles, but they want us to express the length of the caterpillar as a decimal, which is over here in the picture. That's kind of crazy. Okay, so we have 1 3/8 inches long. So we know that the 1 is your whole, right? Like for your whole number. So you only have to worry about changing the 3/8 to a decimal. You could always just divide. They multiplied the numerator and denominator by 125. So you're probably thinking like I'm thinking, how did they know to multiply that by 125? Okay. Just if you were just looking at this problem, you would have no way of knowing to multiply that by 125. Okay, so sometimes there's people in this book, okay, I don't know what they're thinking. So what I would do is I would just divide that. I mean, maybe this is what they were thinking. They were thinking that 8 does not divide equally into 100, but 8 does divide equally into 1,000. And that's how they got the 125. Whew, that's a little higher level thinking there, isn't it? Okay, so right here, you've got some practice problems, but your homework assignment is on page 61. You're going to do problems 1 through 11C, okay? Okay, hopefully this will be helpful, and I'll get this up for you, and I'll see you in class. Have a great day.